Yo, what is happening, guys, and welcome back to the Let's Talk Fighting channel now. Yes, as you can tell by title and the thumbnail, we are going to be giving our Jake Paul versus Tommy Fury final predictions. Now, I am actually still not too certain on what my prediction is. I've watched so much. I just got done watching the press conference. So, I don't know, it's kind of teetering, it's kind of swaying. But just before we get into my predictions and what I think is going to happen, what I want to do, because it might sway my prediction a little bit, it might give me a little bit of a different perspective. I made a post, which I'll put here on the channel, which I wanted you to reply to. I didn't get many replies, but I got like 2 free replies or something like that. And it's basically your predictions for the fight. I'm going to read them, I'm going to give my opinions, and then I'm going to see if that sways my opinion, or maybe it'll help me make a final decision, because I am completely lost at the minute. But that's what we're going to do. So first up, we got Holla at your boy, which I actually know Holla, so shout out to him. He says, Tommy has to win. I can't see it any other way, but I don't know if it will be on points or knockout. I just feel like he has to win. Right, so Holla thinks that Tommy has to win. He can't see Tommy not winning, which I think is a fair point. The next one is, Tommy will have success boxing Jake, but he will get tired in the last couple of rounds, and I don't believe he will have the dog that Jake has in him to push through, so I got Jake winning by TKO/ref stoppage around round 8 or 9, because I believe it's a 10-round fight. Is it a 10-round fight? No, it said in the press conference it's a 8-round fight. I did believe it was 10. Someone said it was a 10-round fight. I was confused too, but it's an 8-round fight. But either way, you have it in say 7 or 8 then. 7 or 8 round fight, you have it stopping. Now, the big part is who actually won the poll. That was only 2 of the actual, okay. So there was 2 actual ones. They both said Tommy winning. 6 people voted, and it is a 50-50. I believe at the very start, the first 3 people that voted was Tommy. So it's actually a 50-50. Everybody thinks. Now, those are their predictions. Feel free to drop your predictions down below. In case you missed that post, you can always drop them down below anyway on this. Now, these are my opinions. The better boxer is Tommy. The more experience is Tommy. Tommy has the longer reach. Tommy has the better combos. He is the overall better boxer, more seasoned, more experienced. Jake Paul has the dog in him. Jake Paul has the experience of going 8 rounds, which Tommy has never been. And Jake Paul has that knockout power. Now, realistically, in reality, it sways towards Tommy, because Tommy is the boxer. He's been doing it his whole life, and he has all these advantages. But this thing is, we always talked about, is Tommy going to crack under pressure? Is Tommy going to crack under pressure? And we'll keep asking over and over and over again. I don't believe Tommy's going to crack under pressure. But I don't think he will come out and do whatever he wants in this fight. I don't. I think this is a 50-50 fight. I know people are saying, oh, Jake Paul's going to cakewalk for him. I don't believe that. I know people are saying Tommy's going to cakewalk for Jake. I don't believe that. I think it's a 50-50 fight, because I watched, shout out to the Wade Concept, I watched his videos to try and sway my opinion a little bit, because, usually I can kind of give a prediction. This one I fucked for. But he basically said he thinks that everything Tommy does well, Jake doesn't do well, and everything Jake does well, Tommy doesn't do well. So everything that Jake has in his arsenal, Tommy doesn't do it. And everything Tommy has in his arsenal, Jake doesn't do it. So they're literally the polar opposites, which makes them the perfect match to fight. And what I think is going to happen, this is literally just because I have to make a decision. There's a couple outcomes. I think either way, this fight's going to start. I think Tommy's going to come out early, and Tommy's going to be on the front foot. He's going to walk down. He's going to use the jab. He's really going to just use that jab, which he needs to. He has that jab. That's one of his best weapons, if not his best weapon personally. But he's going to use that jab. He's obviously going to put Jake in the back foot. He's going to put together a few combos. I think Jake's going to cover up. I think when Tommy gets close, Jake's going to clinch him to get out of those problems. And I will be honest, I don't think this first couple rounds are going to be the nicest couple rounds. I just don't think they're going to be the most entertaining. I think it's going to be a lot of Tommy coming forward, and I think Tommy's going to overextend, and him and Jake are going to be forced to clinch, or I think Jake's going to clinch to try and frustrate Tommy and to get out of a bad situation. Because Jake covers up well, but obviously clinching, it's annoying to watch, but as the fighter, I would clinch too. You would clinch if it's going to get you out of a bad situation. So I think there's going to be a lot of clinching in this fight, but I think Tommy's going to come out early. He's going to be fast. Jake's going to let him take the first couple rounds. Well, I don't think he really has an option, but he's going to let him take the first couple rounds anyway. I think Tommy's going to do that first 2 rounds until Jake finally finds his confidence and starts actually like making it into a dogfight. I don't think Jake's going to beat Tommy by boxing him. I think he has to make it into a dogfight and actually scrap it out, get him to go toe to toe with him in the ring, because at the end of the day, I think Tommy has better combos, but Jake Paul has more power, and I think that's been proven. I'm not saying Tommy can't hit, but Jake hits like a fucking train, and that is his best weapon in his arsenal, is that right hand. The biggest issue for Tommy is, we discussed this, and everybody's discussed this, a lot of the times in Tommy's fight, when he's throwing combos, he leaves himself open and he doesn't have head movement, and Jake Paul mentioned it in the press conference. Jake Paul gave him the credit for being a good boxer, being experienced, having a good job, but he said he doesn't have head movement and he doesn't move too much, especially his head, which is important. And Jake knows that. Maybe Tommy's fixed that, who knows, but I don't think Tommy could have fixed it like that. I think it would take a couple fights to really get your head movement on game. And you know, giving Jake Paul a stationary target like Tyron Woodley was, not a good idea. Because Tyron Woodley was a stationary target. Tyron Woodley literally was there and then just dropped his hand stationary, and all Jake had to do was like, alright, bang. Same with Ben Askren. That's all he had to fucking do. So I think he's going to take advantage of that. I don't think Tommy Fury's going to move his head too much. I think Jake is going to keep swinging for that big overhand right. I think he's going to obviously miss a lot of them. I think he's maybe going to slightly clip Tommy, but it ain't going to do much to Tommy. I think it's going to be a really dirty, nasty fight. It's going to be literally just a scrap. That's what I think. Like I said, first couple rounds go to Tommy. I think maybe the 3rd round, Jake starts to have a little bit of success, and I think Jake turns it into a dirty fight around round 3 or 4, and I think maybe he takes a round, maybe a round or 2. And it all comes down, I personally think, to who wants it more, because I know FaZe Sensei said he thinks it's going to be a draw, and I agree. I think he also said if it is a close fight, they're going to give it to Jake. I think if it's a close fight, it's probably going to be a draw, or it's going to be a controversial one. That's the way I view it. So Tommy to win has to beat Jake convincingly, because even if Tommy beats Jake on decision, but it's a close fight, Tommy lost, because he's the boxer. He needs to knock Jake out. If he even wins on decision, if he completely outboxes him, cool. But say if it's a close fight in any way, Jake wins no matter what. But yes, so I think that's happened. I think Tommy takes the first couple. I think Jake takes a couple then. And I think it literally gets down to when the fatigue sets in, when they both start to get tired, when Tommy can't throw those combos anymore or as much because he's tired, when Jake can't have all that power in the right hand because he's tired, when they both can't bounce around the ring, when they both can't just go for it because they're both fatigued as fuck. Who wants it more? And it's a hard question, because Tommy has more to lose, in my opinion. They both have a lot to lose. But at the end of the day, Jake has something to lose in the terms of if he loses, people are going to be like, oh, you lost. But then he lost to a boxer, which everybody's going, Jake's not a boxer, Tommy is, so realistically, he's supposed to lose. If Tommy loses, he is the boxer, so Tommy can't win. Anything less than a Jake Paul knockout, then Tommy knocking Jake Paul out is a loss. It's an L on Tommy's record, in my opinion, unless he completely outboxes him for fucking 8 rounds, and maybe not knocks him out, but puts it to a position, puts a beating on to a point where he's like, I'm the pro boxer. So I think it comes down to it. And I see 3 outcomes, all in what way. I do see a decision / draw, and I see a knockout for both of them. But here's the thing. The least likely chance, I don't see Tommy Fury finishing Jake Paul. I think Jake Paul can take a fucking punch. And I know people are going to talk about Tyron Woodley hitting Jake Paul and Jake Paul flying against the ropes and that he would have been down. But see if you actually look at it. Did Jake Paul stumble back into the ropes? Yes. But say he did hit the ground. Would it have made a difference? No. Yes, it would have been knocked down, but it wouldn't have made a difference for the simple fact of, did he in any way show that he was hurt? No. Tyron Woodley caught him off guard, yeah. It was a good punch. But Jake got up, licked his gloves and goes, let's go. Jake took that shit and ate it like it was fucking a burrito for breakfast. Like, he ate it. And I don't think Tommy's going to finish him. Now, the 2 outcomes, the ones I see the most, is maybe a decision, a draw, or a decision in either of their favour. Or I think Jake Paul knocks Tommy out. I don't think he flatlines him like Tyron Woodley, but I think he might catch him because, like I was saying earlier, with Tommy being not having the head movement, You know, a lot of the times in Tommy's fight, he's been caught with the right hand with a bunch of people just swinging like that. They literally just, they fall back, they swing, and they catch him. And that's not a big deal for those people because they don't have power. But if Jake throws and catches you on the chin, I'm sorry, Tommy, but you're going to sleep. A lot of people are going to sleep because Jake can fucking punch. And that is just a fact. And he's proven it. So, decision, Jake Paul, knockout, blah, blah. What is my final decision? And this is a hard one. I'm sorry for rambling on, but I just need to think of every scenario. This video is literally to point out every scenario, give my opinion, so we actually have a conversation, not just say, yeah, I think this person's going to win. So, I think it comes down to, I can't see Tommy Fury losing, but I also can't see Jake Paul losing, right? And this is what I'm stuck on. I can see more of a chance of Jake Paul losing to Tommy Fury than Tommy losing to Jake, just because of what I think it would look like afterwards. You know what I mean? But what is my final decision? And I personally think my final decision is, I think Tommy will have success early, Jake will have success mid, and I don't think it's going to be the cleanest fight. I think it's going to be very clinchy, dirty, all that. But I think in the later rounds, this is my two. It's either going to go decision and Tommy's going to win, or Jake's going to get a controversial win, or Jake is going to finish Tommy. And I really can't choose between them. But I'm just going to go out on a limb and say I think Jake Paul pulls it off. I do. I think Jake Paul pulls it off. I really, really, really fucking do. I can't see Jake Paul losing. And I just feel the way Tommy leaves himself open for that big right hand, he's going to do it again. He's going to make the same mistake, and Jake's going to capitalize on it like he has every single time. Because to be fair, we could all say, oh, Jake's not going to have any success against Tommy Fury. I said he wasn't going to outbox Anderson Silva, and he did. And I know, yes, Tommy Fury's not as old as Anderson Silva, but Anderson Silva's still pretty fucking good. And you know, you could view, they said in the press conference, oh, Jake Paul couldn't knock out Anderson Silva. But there's been people Tommy Fury has fought, and he hasn't knocked them out. I'm pretty sure Tommy Fury went the distance with Anthony Taylor. And Anthony Taylor is an MMA guy turned boxer, so it's the same thing. Yes, he's younger, and I like Anthony Taylor, but he's not really that good at boxing. So it's kind of the same thing. You know what I mean? I would rather fight Anthony Taylor than I would Anderson Silva at this age, personally. But yeah, no, I think Jake Paul wins. I think it will most likely be a decision or a Jake Paul TKO. I don't think he flatlines him, but I think he knocks him down, maybe catches him, and the ref calls it off because maybe Tommy can't get to his feet. Or maybe Tommy does get to his feet and Jake just goes to fucking town and he's dizzy and all that. That's what I think happens. So I do think Jake Paul wins. It's hard because I can't see if they're losing, but I gotta choose one. And I'm going with Jake Paul. My gut says Jake Paul. And I'm not gonna lie, I like Tommy, but I kind of want Jake Paul to win. And that's not even me being biased, like who I want to win, you know what I mean? Like, I wanted Anderson Silva to win, but I thought Jake Paul was going to fucking pull it off, and he did. So, I want Jake Paul to win, and I think he is going to win. But, yeah, this was literally just me rambling on, talking about a bunch of shit. This video is probably ages long, but you know what? That's a prediction video, baby. We got to go over it all, and that is it. So, let me know your opinions down below. Like I said, I think Jake Paul decision, Tommy Fury decision, or a Jake Paul finish is the three most likely options. And I think Jake Paul will finish Tommy Fury. If not, I think then the decision, it will either be a Tommy Fury decision win and there will probably be a rematch, or there will be a controversial Jake decision and there will be a rematch. So that's my opinion. Drop your opinions down below. Let me know your final fight predictions. Like I said, this is a long ass video probably, but hey, that's why we talk about every single scenario. But hey, as always, think positive, test negative. I'm looking fucking forward to this fight. I'm going to be watching it live. You probably are too. So if I don't see you before then, because my next upload will probably be the reaction to the fight, have an amazing day. Enjoy the fight. Stay safe. And I'll see you after the fight. But remember to drop your predictions. But hey, like I said, stay safe. Enjoy the rest of your night. Enjoy the rest of a couple of days. Enjoy the fucking fight because I'm hyped for it. And I'll see you then. So, peace.